what's up, and welcome to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. I'm your host, Kat Kozad, manifestation expert, money mindset and fulfillment coach, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur. Come sit with me while I spill the real tea on what it's like to practice using intentional manifestation, demystify all of the woo-woo and confusing bullshit that comes along with creating the life of your dreams, and give you a realistic view of what it's like to be on a personal, spiritual, and professional growth journey. The goal of this podcast is to support and guide you towards manifesting all of your dreams, shed light on the things that people are too scared to talk about, and encourage you to become the person who gets to have it all, be it all, and do it all. I am so happy you are here. Let's fucking do this thing. What's up, loves? Welcome back to another episode of the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. Today we're going to be doing a Q&A from my Instagram story. I posted this back on my story a few weeks ago, and y'all sent me some incredible questions to answer on the podcast. So we're going to be diving into those, but a little life update, I guess, before we get into all of that. It is the day before Thanksgiving. I am chilling in New York City for Thanksgiving this year. I'm doing Thanksgiving alone, which is the first time I've ever done Thanksgiving alone, and I'm honestly kind of excited for it. I'm gonna bop around the city and just enjoy myself and enjoy my time to myself, have slow morning, all of that good stuff. So really excited for that. I'm headed back to Colorado for the holidays in the middle of December, and I'm going to Mexico for New Year's Eve, which I'm so fucking excited about. I haven't been on a vacation, like a vacation, since I was in 5th grade. However old you are when you're in 5th grade. It's been, how many years would that be? I have no clue. Probably like 15 years? I don't know. How old are you when you're in 5th grade? Somebody who's listening to this, please message me on Instagram and tell me how old you are when you're in 5th grade. But however long that is the last time that I have been on vacation, and this is the first real vacation that I am taking since starting my business. So I'm super excited. I'm really proud of myself for getting to this point. And yeah, it's just a really cool experience. So with all that being said, we are going to be diving into the questions, but I need to grab water. So pause and I'll be back. Alrighty, we back. I'm realizing as I say pause that y'all don't have to pause as long as I did, because we can just edit that part out. Okay, but to dive into these questions, very first question that I got is, I'm moving to a new state. What's the difference between running, like I've shared I've done on my very first move away from home, versus my move to New York City, moving from the space of my higher self? So a little bit of background on this. My first move to Boise, Idaho was a move of me running away from my life, running away from the issues that I had at the time. And my move to New York City was very much so a move coming from my higher self. So specifically for me, the difference in the two is my move to Boise, Idaho was coming from this place of I wanted a blank canvas, not because I felt inspired to do that, but because I felt as though that was the only way that I could get away from my issues that I was facing. And those issues were that I was having suicidal thoughts, that I was drinking all the time, that I was finding myself in toxic relationships, that I was ending up in the same jobs and just like the same toxic patterns over and over and over again. And my thought process at the time was, if I move somewhere else, all of that will go away because I have a blank canvas, a fresh start. I can make myself be who I want to be, XYZ, all of the different stories. And what I realized once I got there is that your issues don't go away just by walking away from them or running away from them. My issues didn't go away by walking away from them or running away from them. And that's exactly what I was trying to do. I was trying to remove myself from what I was experiencing. And I thought that by changing physical location, I could do that. But at the time, I hadn't started doing any of the inner work. I hadn't dived into my limiting beliefs, my past traumas, all of the different things that I talk about and that I have now healed in order to be in the position that I am in today and show up as who I am and just like live the life that I have now. So that was what it was for me before in the past. It was like moving was running away versus moving here to New York City. This was something that I've intuitively known I've wanted since I was 14 years old, but I was always too scared to take the action on and wasn't in the right, quote unquote, right position before to move to New York City. So what the difference in the two was, though, is that moving to New York, I had done so much inner work. I had healed so many different things inside of myself. And it was coming from the energy of inspiration. It wasn't coming from this energy of, I need to leave, I need to go, I need to remove myself from some sort of situation, because honestly, I had an awesome life back in Colorado. I have a friend group back in Denver, and I had like a whole community there and like a lot going on for me in Denver. But I felt inspired to see more, do more, explore more, be immersed in more culture, be immersed in just like something so completely different. And Denver became my comfort zone. Denver became a place of just like complete pattern. And I got to this place in Denver where it just became my comfort zone. Every single thing about it was comfortable. There was nothing that was pushing me to grow. There was nothing that was taking me out of my comfort zone. There was nothing that was truly taking me to the next level. And yes, that definitely comes from inside of ourselves and like our willingness to take ourselves to the next level. But our environment is also so important for our manifestations. And I specifically, my environment is so important to me. Like I am very specific when it comes to what I need my home life to look like, what I need my bedding to look like, the way things flow inside of my house, because my environment is so important to me. Same with like the city that I'm in and the way that I'm living my life. So everything there became so comfortable and nothing felt as though it was pushing me or taking me to the next level. And I just knew inside of myself that I had outgrown Denver. I had outgrown my life in Colorado. And because of that, I knew that it was time to take this uncomfortable leap and move to New York City. It did not feel like an easy breezy, super effortless decision to move to New York City. I will be completely honest with that. I was super excited and I was super inspired about it. And at the exact same time, I was so nervous and incredibly fearful. And that's something that we need to talk about more when it comes to taking yourself to the next level, is that yes, it's going to feel inspired. Yes, it's going to feel like something that you want, but it's hardly ever going to feel comfortable. And the reason for that is like you're literally taking yourself into the unknown. If going to the next level was something that was comfortable for you, you would have already done it. And this is actually something that I talked about on my Instagram story today, is like you will never manifest the life of your dreams from your comfort zone. So anybody who is currently sitting in their comfort zone right now, listening to this podcast and has like the grand vision of the big, bougie, amazing, impactful, luxurious life, whatever it is for you and whatever you're wanting to manifest that, the brutal truth is that you will not manifest that life from your comfort zone. You must be willing to leave your comfort zone and do the inner work to continue to up-level and continue to bring yourself closer and closer to living the life of your dreams and having the things that you want. And flip side of this is like, there's nothing wrong with being comfortable with where you're at. If that is what you want for yourself and there is not any inkling inside of you that is saying you're made for more, you want more, this isn't exactly what you want, know that like there's literally nothing wrong with staying in your comfort zone. But if you're listening to this podcast or listening to any sort of like manifestation or personal development podcast because you have this desire to live a life of more, have more abundance, have the freedom, have all of the different things that you desire, you have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone in order to create that life. So little riff on that, but yeah, that was the difference in the two of my move to Boise versus my move to New York. Alrighty, so the next question that I got was about inspired and aligned action. And it was when you are doing the things, quote unquote things, but you're not seeing the results, what inspired action do you need to take? So this is actually something that I see so often with the women that I work with and the people who come to me who are wanting to learn more about manifestation, law of attraction, and be a part of my program, is this whole concept around inspired action, aligned action. And I'm going to do a full podcast episode breaking down inspired and aligned action. But what my suggestion is for anybody who feels as though they are taking the inspired action, they are taking the aligned action, but they are not seeing the results that they want to see with their manifestations, with their lives, two things can be at play here. One is divine timing. And divine timing, for anybody who's listening who's unaware, divine timing is the most perfect timing for you in your life. And the reason that it's important to know that everything is coming to you in divine timing is because just like if you were reading a sentence, you would need every single thing in that sentence to line up perfectly for it to make sense and for it to read the way that it's supposed to. If you were to take any of those words out of order and place them at the beginning because you're wanting to receive them first, you're wanting to read them first, then that sentence wouldn't make sense. And that's the exact way that divine timing plays out in our lives. Sometimes your manifestations haven't shown up yet because there's something else that needs to happen before it makes sense for you to receive your manifestation. And we as humans love to have control. We love to try and force things and make things happen before we're actually ready for them. And when we do that, a lot of the times we end up sabotaging our manifestations. So knowing that everything is being delivered to you in divine timing doesn't mean to sit on your ass and do nothing because the universe is going to deliver your manifestation to you. No, it means that continue to stay in that vibration, stay in that frequency, align yourself with what it is that you are wanting to receive, what you are calling in, and through continuing to take that inspired action and aligning yourself with the version of yourself who already gets to receive that thing, then in divine timing, with the lessons that need to happen, with the things that need to happen in your life in order for you to evolve, then you will get to the place where you are a vibrational match to receive your manifestation. And it wouldn't have made sense if you had received it before different lessons or different experiences or whatever it is hadn't have happened in your life. So that's the first thing that could be happening if you're taking the aligned action, but your manifestation hasn't shown up yet. Second thing that could be happening is you have some sort of energetic block to receiving whatever it is that you're manifesting. And this is something that can easily be cleared with doing the inner work. And this is definitely something that I suggest you look for guidance on, because we all have blind spots. We cannot see within ourselves what we cannot see, and we cannot change what we do not recognize. So this is exactly what we dive into inside of the Abundant AF Babe Academy. Anybody who's listening, who's been taking inspired action, or who's on this journey, who wants to know how to manifest and do it in a more effortless way than what all of the bullshit resources online can teach you about manifestation, I could not suggest more that you apply to the Abundant AF Babe Academy and hop on a call with me to see if it's a good fit for you, because as we all know, 2022 is right around the corner. And if you are not living the life that you want to live right now, now is your time. Especially with this new year coming up, you do not need to wait until January 1st to make that start to happen, or make this shift start to happen in your life. Literally start now. Start today. Start before you are ready, because January 1st is going to roll around and there's going to still be the exact same amount of excuses as to why your life is the way it is, why things can't change, why this, why that, X, Y, Z. And that is going to continue to keep you stuck in the same place. But in order for us to live a life that we've never had, we have to do things that we've never done. And I, once again, think that the Abundant AF Babe Academy is the solution to this. So that is my suggestion for the second piece. Figure out the blocks that you're experiencing and how to actually clear them out, because there are completely effective, efficient ways for you to clear out these energetic blocks, but they're hard to get to on your own. The next question I received is, have you ever manifested something accidentally that you didn't really want? Yes, absolutely. So this is a misconception when it comes to manifestation and law of attraction. You are not just manifesting some things in your life. You are manifesting everything in your life. And if you listen to my podcast, you've probably heard me say that so many times now, but that is the reality of this. You are not just manifesting some things, you are manifesting all things, because we manifest into our lives what we believe, and all of those belief systems are coming from our subconscious minds. And our subconscious mind makes up 95% of the human brain, and are typically things that we do not have any sort of awareness around. So when it comes to my own experience with this, manifesting things that I didn't actually want, I can say like literally my entire life up until finding manifestation law of attraction and going all in on the inner work was a manifestation of shit that I didn't want. All of the unfortunate circumstances that I got into in relationships, into friendships, into work circumstances, into my finances. Like, if anybody doesn't already know my story, you should go back and listen to some of the other podcast episodes. But I played the victim so fucking hard in my life. And as a byproduct of that victim mentality, that is what I knew with absolute certainty. So I continually was manifesting bullshitty, awful things into my life all the time. And that is a byproduct of my belief system. So going back to the initial question is like, have I ever manifested something that I didn't want? Yes. And we all do this. Anything in your life that you are not 100% thrilled with, you have the power to shift and change by changing your belief systems, because you are manifesting that reality right now. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Like, you are manifesting the shit that you do not want in your life, and you also have the power to change it. And that's exactly, once again, what we do inside of ABA. So anybody who's interested, anybody who's been on the fence about it, go hit the link down below in the bio, or just send me a message on Instagram. Like, I would love to have a conversation with you to see if ABA would be a good fit for you. Next question we got is how to go on a personal growth journey while also dating. Is it possible to do both? Absolutely, it is possible to do both. My suggestion for going on a personal growth journey while you are dating is a few things. First one being that there has to be clear communication with your partner around the fact that this is something that is important to you. A lot of the times we have embarrassment or judgment or whatnot for ourselves around communicating those things that are our desires when we're so used to being in some sort of pattern, especially with somebody else, especially being in a relationship. And that is such a crucial piece of a personal growth journey, is learning how to effectively communicate your desires, your wants, your needs, your vulnerabilities, whatever it is. And this is an incredible first place to start with it, to just bring your partner up to speed with what you're choosing to do. Because if you're choosing to do something and there's no awareness on their end, a lot of different things can happen. A few of those being like, they are not going to understand how to support you. They're not going to choose to support you because they don't know what you're doing. They could try to bring you back into what the old patterning, the old conditioning is, just because there isn't the awareness of what you're experiencing and what you're going through. So that is such an important piece when you're in a relationship, is communicating to your partner that this is something that is important to you and you would love to have their support in it. And that doesn't mean that they have to come along in this journey with you. If they want to come along on a journey with you, amazing. But if they do not, it's not your responsibility to drag them along with you. And it's your responsibility to do what is going to protect you in that situation, which by communicating what your wants and needs are from starting this journey, then you can start to protect your energy and protect your growth that will happen in that personal growth journey. So that's the first thing. Second thing that is probably the biggest in this is learning how to set boundaries. And let me know, anybody who's listening to this, if you want me to do a podcast episode on boundaries. I think it could be a super powerful one, because boundaries are the energetic standard of what we're available for. And most of us are not taught how to set boundaries at all. We are never taught how to set boundaries. And they are such a crucial piece of, once again, protecting your energy and effectively doing something. So learning how to set boundaries with yourself first, learning how to set the boundary of okay, I have committed to the fact that I said I'm going to wake up at a certain time every single day and have some sort of morning routine. That is a boundary that I am setting with myself. That is a promise and a commitment that I am making to myself, and therefore I am going to honor it. Because when we honor our boundaries to ourselves, we build more self-trust. And when we build that self-trust, the personal growth journey becomes easier and easier. And it also becomes easier to set those boundaries with other people. And I feel as though a lot of people do this the other way around, of setting boundaries with other people, but not really recognizing that we need to learn how to set boundaries with ourselves in order to actually effectively implement those boundaries and stick to those boundaries. So that would be my suggestion. And then from that place is to look at what sort of boundaries do you need to set with your partner, and like not in this energy of like, fuck you, I'm setting this boundary with you because you're affecting my vibe in this way, this way, and this way, because that is not going to put that boundary in place in like a healthy, long-lasting, sustainable way. So it's like setting this boundary from the energy of self-love and what is best for your highest good and the highest good of all, which can look like, hey, I feel this way when you do XYZ, and I am putting the boundary in place with you of this so that I can feel this way because I want to feel this way. And I think that we're going to thrive as a couple if I'm feeling this way. So that is a few suggestions on how to go on a personal growth journey while also dating. And it, once again, yes, absolutely, it is totally possible to do both. And for the rest of the questions that I received, I'm going to be breaking them down into separate episodes because all of them were questions that deserve their own episode. So stay tuned for all of those. I'll be sure to mention during the episode that it is from this Instagram poll that I put up, and look out for more polls on my Instagram. I want y'all to be involved in this podcast as much as possible, and to be involved in the podcast, you'll want to be a part of my world on Instagram so that I can ask those questions on my story. You can give me feedback. You can send me podcast suggestions, all of those different things. Because this is for you. This is for all of you who choose to listen each week. And I want to deliver in a way that's going to be the most beneficial to you. So with that being said, we're going to end this episode here, but if you do have any questions that come up, feel free to send me them on Instagram, and you can find all of the different ways to connect with me down below in the show notes. You can also find the link to apply to the Abundant AF Babe Academy down below. That is my signature online program that I have mentioned a few times throughout this episode, and this is like the solution, guys, to help you actually effectively learn how to intentionally manifest the things that you desire into your life. So go check it out, and I will chat with y'all on the next episode. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh, thank you for listening to today's episode. I am so grateful to have these no bullshit talks with you. If you enjoyed today's episode or the podcast as a whole, please spread the love by leaving me a review on iTunes or sharing the podcast with others. This is how I will be able to spread more of these good vibes and be able to make more of an impact on the lives of others. And if you're not already part of all of the goodness and communities that I have to offer, check out the show notes. I have links to the different ways that I can support you on your manifestation journey and help you live a life full of more money, fulfillment, and freedom. But that is all for now. So big love and hugs, and I will chat with you soon, babe.